What's up guys and welcome back to On the Brick, where why in the world did I buy this version? This is of course the version of Anakin from the original Clone Wars series, where he is on Nelvaan facing his last trial before becoming a Jedi Knight. Congratulations to the lot of you who correctly guessed this, especially Trojan073 who was first. And make sure you not only hit that like and subscribe button, but stick around to the end of the review to hear next week's clue. But for right now, I have no idea why I bought this version. Literally the entire time that I was filming this and everything, I had in my mind that it was the Engineerio version, but something just looked off about it, so I double checked, and nope, this version actually comes from Calypso Customs. And I'll just tell you right off the bat that you should probably spend the extra $2 and get it from Engineerio. While this is by no means a bad minifigure, it does have some questionable areas. On one hand here, the printing of the minifigure is actually pretty decent, especially with the tattoos, as Calypso did a good job matching what the actual tattoos looked like, with one small difference because for some reason Calypso gave them all rounded edges, while the tattoos in the show were very distinctly at right angles. That's not really that important, it's just an artistic choice, but it did stand out to me. But one area that is a little lackluster in both execution and printing is the tattoos on the arm. For some reason the printing here just isn't as good as it is on the bodies. It's a little lighter and more faded, but to me what really stands out is the lower arm there. This is supposed to be his robotic arm, you know, the one that he lost in the fight against Dooku. In fact, and slight spoilers for a 19-year-old show that you definitely should have watched by now, he loses this arm again here, which is where he gets the one from Revenge of the Sith. But there's one very obvious problem that I'm sure you've already seen. First of all, not only is the printing of the gold for his arm pretty lackluster and just doesn't look good, but his hand itself is a flesh hand, which to me is kind of bad. I like the things I buy to have accuracy, and this is such a simple oversight that I don't really understand why. Like, this wasn't a mistake in my minifigure. If you look at the listing for this, it's how it is. And it's reasons like that why I say you should just buy from Engineerio instead, because they do have the golden arm, which makes a lot more sense, is a lot more accurate, and takes like 2 seconds to do. Now, when it comes to the pants, the Engineerio version is pretty lackluster at first. For some reason here, Calypso does have these multicolored legs, which I thought were really nice, and don't get me wrong, they are. Doing this style of printing is always welcome in my book, especially if it's accurate, but the problem here is that it's not. If you look at the scene where Anakin is going through his trial here, he just has solid brown pants. That's it. Nothing else. And at first I was really wondering why Calypso Custom was making these design choices until I found this image. Here you can see the good representation of the 2003 Clone Wars Anakin alongside Timothée Chalamet as Anakin. I really don't know. But here on that version you can see the curved lines of the tattoos and the multicolored pants. Okay, also I know it's Hayden Christensen and I know it's a real thing. But you'll also notice that that version of Anakin has a very distinct robotic hand that Calypso didn't do, and I still don't know why Calypso went with that version when it's not from the actual show. But of course, the biggest issue with any Calypso minifigure is the face. It just doesn't look good. I don't know what it is that they do that just doesn't work for me. I think a lot of it is just the blank expressions. For instance, Anakin looks kind of worried here, where he could be looking angry or stern or something like that. But at the end of the day, it just doesn't work. So overall, like I said, not a bad minifigure, just not really a good one, and it leaves me wishing that I had gone with Engineerio's version instead. Now I will link both down below, where you should comment your opinions and thoughts and leave your guess on who you think next week's minifigure will be, as we look at a strange old hermit who has lost his way. It's a specific version, you have to be specific. If you haven't already, consider checking me out on Instagram, Discord, and of course on Patreon, where you can join all these wonderful people, get shout out like Jonathan, and extra entries into the monthly minifig giveaways. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.